Hello, my dear fans, viewers, and subscribers. This is Stormy with the capital Z, and today I bring to you another Warcraft 3 cast, which will be featuring Kenlevo, the green human player, against Virus, the brown undead player on this map, Snowy Valleys. If you might have already not noticed, this is a snowy version of the map Secret Valleys. Just let the fog of war go and have you look at the map a little. So anyways, this map is the same thing. The only terrain and the doodads have been replaced. That is into a snowy version of it, just to give an it's sort of an eye attraction to it. All the items, all the creeps, everything is the same. So anyways, the matchup is underway. I did cast another game of this from this tournament before. You guys might want to check it out if you already haven't. And so anyways, the human player is going for an archmage, as he did go for a power build over there, and the undead player is going for DK first, as he did drop the altar first there. Yes, DK is going to be popping out of the altar, as we also see a tomb of relics being summoned there, as I believe this is the sixth acolyte. Yes, it is the sixth acolyte, which is heading towards the enemy base for some scouting, and the human player is getting ready for some power creeping, fortifying his base with the blocking with the towers, and those militias will all these peasants will be militia soon, that will be fighting away an orange camp with the archmage right about now. While the undead player, yes, the undead player is going to be detecting this. He is going to be arriving at that spot right on time, and human player wisely taking out the sheep. Actually, taking out the sheep does. The sheep is a very the critter, that is critter in any game, not just the sheep. Is a very important unit for the undead player, as the undead player can just kill that off without even having to kill an actual creep or actual unit of the enemy player. He can just kill it out and use that corpse to summon two skeleton warriors using his rod of necromancy. While the human player is done creeping over here, will be getting a class of attack +6, which will be a fairly useful item for the archmage. Although it would have been a lot more useful if the hero was sort of a DPS type hero. You know what I mean, sort of an BM or something. So anyways, the DK is going to be heading towards the human base, going for the corpses first, and well, that was kind of funny. Even though the human player did take out that sheep, the undead player actually summoned those skeleton warriors out of the corpse of that sheep. Now heading in with those skeleton warriors, human player wisely pulling in those militias to drag them off. And it seems like the human player is going for some sort of a harassment, only with the solo archmage, I believe. No, human player wants to creep out the undead camp. Oh, that is the green camp right in front of the undead base, in other words, and the human player will be following away some of the skeleton warriors, but the undead player will be focusing on harassment, as that is the only thing he would want to do at this point of the game when he is checking up. Well, the human player seems to be, he might go for some sort of harassment himself, while only with the archmage, that and Undead does have is getting a Nerubian tower ready. It's not ready yet. Elemental will be getting inside the base, and it might be blowing out a few shots over the acolyte. I don't think it will be able to kill it, because it will time out very soon there. And well, the undead player heads back to the base. Actually, he was going for the green camp, and the human player does see that the human player has already crept it out, forced to go for the Murloc camp, because the human player did take that one out already. And the human player going for the orange camp, dragging this dragon away from the fountain, so he could kill it off easily with the archmage and the elemental. Circlet of Nobility being dropped. He doesn't really have to fear any kind of steal over here, because he probably knows that DK is not nowhere near. So anyways, as he will be killing this off, he will be getting another item from the dragon there, as the undead player just finished creeping out this Murloc camp, and will be at tier 2 in a second over here. Keep is also coming in, and a blacksmith being dropped by the human player. Human player might be attempting to go for Rifleman or Workshop, I believe. Let's see what he goes for. While the Undead player goes for the orange camp in front of his base at the 2 o'clock here. And the human player, oh my, actually got a very good item over here. Scourge Bone Shines. And this actually is Vampiric Aura, I believe. Yes, it is. And that thing is going to be very helpful for the human player to absorb well, not absorb the damage, take steal life. That is, it's a steal life type uh, ability, which passive ability, which is granted to all of the units, and each hit that the unit lands, he gets a small percentage of it back to his life. So that's practically like, if these things do 13 damage, they may get like 1 HP back or something. And so the human player will be getting right inside the undead base, going after the goal line, going after the acolytes. Acolytes are under dire jeopardy there, one acolyte down, and the human player forced to TP back as his archmage was surrounded there. And well, he did manage to take out one acolyte, which will halt a little the goal supply a little, but not very so much. Lich is out, and now the human player, and now is where the serious part comes. The human player has to be careful of all of the nukes that the other player can do. The MK is also coming over here, while the arcane Scantum is being dropped. Human player is going for either an expansion or a tower rush. It has to be an expansion, because you can't really tower rush an undead which can just nuke you away with the DK and Lich there. No oil, you know what I mean. And he seemed to be heading towards the this gold mine, this expansion over here, but oh well, he is heading over there. He did turn direction for some reason, and now he will be taking out this expansion point. Although I don't see any kind of militias over here. He does have the ivory towers, but I don't really know what he's doing right now. While the undead player will be heading towards the orange camp over here, as he finished creeping out the other merchant camp. Human player now dragging in those militias, dropping in the ivory towers, and yes, he is going for riflemen. That does mean that he's going for rifle casters, a few riflemen along with a few casters. That can be a good combination against the undead army. While the MK is ready, he needs to be careful about all the type of nukes that the undead player can land. Buying a potion of invulnerability will be kind of a necessity at this point. While he is sending out a militia from the upper side over there, just to see where the undead player might be. And yes, he will be detecting the undead player, as the undead player will pick it off with the death coil. Human player now forced to retreat back to the base. Least he got the intel that he has to return back, that the undead player is heading towards his base. And here comes the undead player. Undead player might be able to take out these towers fairly easily, but repair is being used there. Stormbolt over the fiend, but the fiend, it won't be that useful unless he could get a good surround of it, because it can be coiled anytime at all. Undead player does have his scroll of beast, which he could pop out in this battle, and an obsidian statue coming into play, which will be helping the undead player a lot over there. Stormbolt over the DK, while the human player goes back to his base. And actually, human player is successful in doing what he wanted to do, because he already has his towers up and ready over here. While the undead player will be picking up a few hits over the elemental and getting back. He might be going for a push over the base, or going for some creeping perhaps. Yes, human player just heading back to see, just heading back to check out what the undead player is up to. While the undead player is ready with the black citadel, that is, should be getting the destroyer upgrade soon enough. And he might even go for abominations. Oh my, a dark ranger, a third hero by the undead player, which is heading towards the base of the undead, that is, probably to buy some items, I guess. The orb of corruption, which is available at tier 3 only, and yeah, that is probably what it went back for. Yes, orb of corruption. She might pass it to the lich, or might just keep it for herself, because both of them are kind of a DPS type heroes. Although the dark ranger is more of a DPS than the lich. Lich is more of a nuking one with the Noah coil and stuff. So anyways, human player has his expansion up and ready, very firmly there, while the undead player is heading inside the human base, trying to deal some damage. taking out that rifleman with the last hit. I don't believe the human player saw that the Undead player already has third hero, that is the Dark Ranger, and he has to be a lot of he has to be very careful there against this, because that Dark Ranger, if has Black Arrow, it can like, well, any spell of the Dark Ranger could be very dangerous there, because Black Arrow or Silence, whichever the spell the Dark Ranger has chosen, it will be very uh, crucial. It will very what can you say, devastating, affecting, or something like that towards the human player. Sorry, I just ran out of words over there for a second. So anyway, the human player heading inside the Undead base again, going after the acolytes. One acolyte down, and a few more will probably be down, while the Undead player deciding not to TP back and actually taking out the farms. Taking out the farms will be a good option, but actually he needs to go back to the base, because if all of his acolytes die, he will be out of all the gold supply, and even if he does take out this base of this part of the human's race, even if he does take out all of these peasants, the human player does have an expansion ready, and the human player is actually ready to give that base up. He's building away everything at the expansion, and he's ready to give that base up because he doesn't want that base anymore. While the Undead player is attacking him, and he might want to consider pulling out all of these. Yes, he is pulling them off. He might consider dragging them towards the expansion, that is. Well, the oh my, the Undead player actually getting all of these spirit tower. Just, oh no, that's just one, but even that one was very much enough to actually kill off the footmen. All of these corpses, all of the footmen have died over here, that's one thing I can say. And even the footmen have died, I believe all of the acolytes are taken down. I don't see any kind of brown marks on the map, on the mini-map that is, and probably the acolytes are down as well. Well, the human player will be going for the Undead's gold haunted gold mine. That's well, it might be useful to go for it, but actually, oh my, the Undead player now taking out the main building of the human player, now TPing back to the base, and this is where the human player needs to TP out, because he can't really fight this kind of an Undead army. Human player successful in taking out 5 acolytes and a tower, spirit tower that is, and the Undead player successful in taking out the whole the main building of the human player, that was a keep for the time being. But right now the human player will have to focus on actually getting another keep at the expansion, I believe, because he will be needing it. Nonetheless, not for the tech up. What I mean, he needs a keep for these militias, because this town hall cannot call for arms, cannot give these militias the ability, these peasants the ability to become militias. Not over here, unless and until it becomes a keep. And the Undead player going for the red camp. Oh, I actually got a crystal ball. That is a very imba item. That's one thing I can say, because it allows you to reveal any part of the map for 10 seconds, and it has a uh, fairly fast cooldown, if you ask me as well. So anyways, the human player now will be standing against, standing in his base, trying to fend off his base. There goes the silence. Silence will be stopping the MK from using the storm bolt, which is very crucial at this point. The archmage being targeted, archmage might go down. Yeah, there it goes down with the coil. Archmage goes down. Well, the MK will be left off to defend the base alone. And I don't see any altar. Has the altar lasted? Yes, the altar has lasted, and the human player will be able to revive the archmage. But the thing is that he doesn't have any kind of power units to face off these fiends over here. A few riflemen, a few sorcerers. No, that's not enough. He needs more footmen, more riflemen, or spellbreakers. Any of them might work. And what the hell is that Dark Ranger doing inside there? And Dark Ranger for some reason went inside the base and got caught, and actually got taken out by the small human army there. Undead player will be taking out the towers one by one, picking them off, while the human player will be trying to defend his base the best he could. But there's not really much that he can do at this point, because he can't even call for militias. That's what I said. He has a lot of these workers over here, but he cannot call for militias just because he does not have keep at his expansion. He needs the keep. as I said before, so anyway, the Undead player has successfully taken out three or four towers, I believe, and human player just striving away, struggling to defend his expansion, which is practically the only goal supply for him. The Undead player is now getting back in the game, got all 5 acolytes, and now dropping the another ziggurat. Actually, got the replacement ziggurat for the spirit tower which was taken out there. Archmage is not back yet. Undead player doing very well right now with his fiends, with the burrowing, with the coil, with the unholy aura, and with that obsidian statue. Sometimes it feels as if it is Imba because the Undead player is advantaged very much in this at this point of the game because he is like buffed and surrounded with everything to heal himself, but I don't really want to get in that discussion now. So anyways, the Undead player is now just dominating away the human player's expansion, now taking out what he should have been going for. Archmage is back, and now going off the Lich. Lich might go down, but the DK is there to coil it anytime at all. DK does have a few lot coils left. He has like near 200 mana. He can cast like 2 or 3 coils, and the Dark Ranger is back, and it will be taking out the Arcane Scantum, and he does know that the human player is not at tier 2. He cannot remake it, which will be fairly good for the Undead player. Well, the Undead player will be I'm pretty sure the Undead player might just be able to take this game off because the human player doesn't really have many units over here unless and until he gets a keep. He cannot transform the peasants in the militia and help defend off this base. And right now the undead player is just charging blows over everything he sees, everything those fiends those fiends lay their eyes on. Another tower being taken out. Those riflemen now will be doing their job a little, but Undead player does have a +1 attack there as well, which is actually helping him a lot more. And the Undead player actually going for an expansion for himself because he does know if the game lasts for like 5 more minutes, the gold mine of the Undead player will be down and out, and he will be needing another gold supply. And while the under player just leveling up, I believe, just checking out these units one by one. Targeting the DK is something you should be doing against the undead army because unless and until it has the death impact, it can death pact or death impact, I believe. It cannot really heal itself. Although its regeneration is very high and the armor is fairly good enough, or fairly good too. It Yeah, the targeting it is probably the first priority because anything else that you target is gonna be coiled away by the DK itself. And another thing which I would have mentioned is that if the human player might have gone for a few spell breakers, it would have been a lot better over here because those spell breakers could have just taken out the mana from the DK. And well, if you count the number of the priests and sorcerers that he had at this expansion, they were very much. And seemingly the DK might go down. DK just was being taken out and just forced to TP out, but they didn't go alone. They did take out the MK before going out, and the undead player will be returning back soon enough. While the human player going for healing, I believe, and the fountain of health. Human player does well. All the fortifications and everything has been taken out from the expansion point of the human player, and the guard tower will be taken out soon enough as well. Still going for priest, still going for sword for the rifleman because it's practically kind of too late. But he even with footman with defend could help the human player fend off this kind of an army better than what he with the army composition that he currently has, because he needs a lot more of these if he has to fight that kind of an undead army. But the thing is, he doesn't really have that time to make that big of an army. And even if he does, he probably might be running out of gold because he's on one gold mine. Well, you can do rifle. Oh wait, he did. Well, there's something I missed. He actually did put out his town hall, and the thing is that Even if he loses his expansion, he will be still having his main. And the thing now is that his main will not be depleting
Player's
before the
forces are
undead
under
players
attack.
because the main was not mined for a very long time. And right now the human player returning back to the base as he does see no option at all to defend it there. And oh, one more thing, this town hall cannot pull out Malaysia as well because it's not a keep yet. So anyways, the human player will be returning back to the base. The MK is, that is the not the Artemic, the MK has been revived, and the undead player just heading inside the human base. Human player does not have anything to front the army with. He could, well, I don't think he could do anything. Undead player
Player's
has
forces
this
are under
game.
attack.
That's one thing I could say at this point because it's fairly GG because the undead player just has too many units. His heroes are too high leveled, and at this late point of the game, human player needs a lot more units than what he has right now. Well, still he pretty needs some army frontals. That is, he does have a fairly good amount of units, but all of them can die very easily to the undead army. And he's actually going for a push over here, kind of a push to defend off his base. And oh my, just look at the number of the dark minions which were actually spawned
Player's
after
forces are under attack.
these militias died, and now using the rifleman to attack that DK getting a lower hitman, but it's not gonna be very useful there because it can just go back and heal off because it's of the high regeneration and the unholy aura. Taking out the MK with the coil, and human player forced to go back. So this is fairly GG. We should be seeing the GG coming up soon enough, and
A player's forces are under attack.
yeah. Oh, there's an abomination. That's one thing that the undead player could have trained a lot before because he does have a lot of fiends over here. And there, he actually left without saying GG. So, anyways, well played by both players. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you have a Facebook, do not do sign in on it. Go to facebook.com/MrStormyZ and say hi. And if you like the cast, do not forget to hit the like button and subscribe if you already haven't. That is pretty much about it. Z out.